Hello and welcome to all of our Gold Learning viewers. I'm Fiona Lang-Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications here at Gold Learning. Well, I am absolutely delighted and excited to introduce to you today Lisa Lahey. She is here today, and we're going to be chatting with her. You can see right in front of you, look at this presentation title. Wow. Utilizing myofunctional methods and lactation therapy pre- and post-frenectomy for optimal suck rehabilitation. Well, welcome, Lisa. It's so great to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here and welcome everybody from the Gold family.
Yeah, no, this is such a wonderful opportunity. Lisa is going to be live with us on September 17th. She is going to be with us for our Gold Learning Online Tongue-Tie Symposium 2018 third annual event. What can I say? This is growing in leaps and bounds. Still so much to talk about, Lisa, in this area. So we're going to be asking you some great questions today and talking a little bit about your presentation coming up. But first of all, I'm excited to again have you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, perhaps where you're located and what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. Well, I am a nurse and lactation consultant. I live in Indianapolis. I worked for many years in the hospital, 20 plus years in the hospital in various areas in maternal child health. I have always really had a love for new families and new babies. About 5 years ago, I started my private practice. So I do have an office and I make home visits. And I see anywhere probably between 2 to 5 breastfeeding dyads a day. 5 definitely makes me go over the edge, and 2 is optimal.
Well, that's amazing. And yes, I can imagine how busy it is for you and how exciting that you've been able to work in different locations as well and now into your private practice. Now, I was going to ask you a little bit about what you're working on as well, Lisa, because I know you do other things. I know you're very busy in this field. So what are the things I see in your, as part of your, your introduction we have for you as well, that you work in another clinic? Perhaps you want to tell us a little bit about that as well.
Sure. I'm working as a nurse and myofunctional therapist. So myofunctional therapy is helping young babies all the way through children and adults in a functional orthodontic office. So I help with assessment, taking like an intake, doing measurements, and then teaching people exercises, particularly around their oral dysfunction. So in our orthodontic office, that often means that they're going to be receiving an expander or an oral appliance of some kind, or what people think of with true braces with brackets, and how we adjust our speaking, our eating, our breathing with all of that apparatus in our mouth. So it's just a great way for me to kind of see how the work that I've done is with babies has translated up through older children and adults, and kind of seeing that function across the lifespan.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I was just thinking about how the fact that this is, we're so focused as IBCLCs, and for those who are listening in, of course, who work in different areas, but of course we're always looking at that infant mother-baby dyad, but yet this is lifelong or can have that impact. So it's really interesting to hear that you actually see that right across the lifespan as well. So very interesting to hear. I'd love to hear more. We'll talk more offline, I think, about that. But I have another question for you as well. I was thinking about, what you're doing and how you've really been immersed in this for quite some time. And all of you that want to know more about Lisa can go online and read her bio. It's on our website at goldlearning.com. But Lisa, tell me a little bit about when did you first get started, or what drew you to this area? What struck you as being important in this area?
Well, I have always loved challenging cases or challenging patients. So when I worked in the hospital, I definitely saw inpatients daily as a lactation consultant, both on our postpartum floor and in the NICU and our pediatric unit. But if you ask me what my favorite at that time was our weekly support group. And our weekly support group was what I realized not a support group, and that was very hard to explain that to our management. I called it breastfeeding ER. Um, it definitely was a lot of challenging moms and babies showing up on a weekly basis, crying out for help.
Oh,
And they were often, 2 days to a year old.
wow.
And I think it's where I really honed my skills and what really made me start to say, like, I need to up my skills. I need to learn more
Right.
than what I thought I knew as a lactation consultant. And so I just started to do more self-study, attend as many conferences as I could, both within breastfeeding and without the title of a breastfeeding or lactation conference. And
Hmm.
I really found that that's where my eyes were open to more of other professionals or other people that were talking about many of the same things. And I really feel that lactation consultants have such a powerful role because we can really set that baby up for optimal feeding and function for the rest of their lives and the impact that we can make, um, you know, in the short time that we're with the mom, whether
Yeah.
that's one visit or we see her several times throughout that first year of life. It really is developing a relationship with that family.
Wow. Well, I can imagine those moms desperate for help. I know many of you listening in too have been in those situations, and those peer-to-peer groups is where they're drawn to as well. They are reaching out for help, and it is our duty to be able to provide them with that care and direction that they possibly need. So let's jump in a little bit, Lisa, here to your actual presentation. We just got a couple of minutes left here. Um, really curious about this presentation. Look at the title. I mean, there's a lot going on here, and I know you've got 60 minutes to give us really an introduction to all of this. But what are you hoping that our audience will take away from this presentation?
I'm hoping that our audience will really start to evaluate that both mom and baby are a key player. And we've always been focused more on the mom, in my opinion, of like she needs to change the positioning or the latch or try a different hold or those type of things. But sometimes when we're really trying to figure out why can't this baby suck or what is the true issue going on with the lips or the tongue, we haven't had some of the skills of like oral anatomy or evaluation set of from that viewpoint. So that would be my hope is that people who watch the presentation will walk away with a better understanding of like this is what the lips do, this is what the tongue does, this is what the cheek does, and there are definitely things that we can tweak and teach mom to do some exercises or gentle movements with her baby that just improve that overall connection, but also um, the oral function itself. And I think that particularly with babies who have had tongue tie, that's such a stressful event that we
Right.
have to look for connections and ways for moms to not be so muddled down with like how hard that is, but to say like, look, you can interact and you can play with your baby through massage or through these oral exercises or tummy time.
Oh, I just love that because it's so true. When you're seeing a mom and baby in distress, a family in distress, it can be so disconnected for them. And they just need to take that time. So if it's inclusive of care and management and supporting them, that therapy can just be a wonderful way to take a step back and, really work together. So I'm excited. I'm really excited, Lisa, to hear more from you. But like everyone else, I'm going to have to wait to hear the full presentation. That was just our little inside scoop, I think, for the day. And so thank you so much for sharing that with us. And thank you for being here with us today, too.
You're welcome. I'm really looking forward to September 17th and
Yeah.
can't wait to learn more with everybody that day.
Yeah, it's going to be fabulous. And as Lisa mentioned, it will be on September 17th. It's going to be live. The event is going to be recorded too, but you need to register. Okay, that's the key thing. You need to go to the website right now to goldlearning.com and you'll be able to register for the 2018 Tongue Tie Symposium. And you can also reach us, of course, through email anytime, team@goldlearning.com. We'll love to chat with you if you need any support or help in signing up for that event. We'll look forward to seeing you on the day with Lisa as well, and some of our other great speakers. We have 6 experts on that day and 5 credits for you. So thank you again so much to Lisa for being with us here today, and to our listening audience. Bye-bye for now, everyone.